Are you afraid that your readings are going to be wrong? The answer is they're going to be wrong. And you have to learn how to be okay with that. Welcome everyone. My name is Lauren. I am a psychic development coach and I teach people about how to use their psychic abilities. Whether you are a newbie or you are a seasoned professional, I like to help people understand their abilities and not be afraid of them. And in this video, we're really talking about why you need to be okay with being wrong as a psychic. This is like a foundational principle that I learned as a psychic from my mentor. And she always said, be willing to be wrong. So one of the problems I see so often in my coaching sessions and when people come to talk to me about their readings and like them feeling blocked and stuck is that they feel like they need to be perfect and they feel like they need to get everything right in order to be a psychic or in order to read somebody else or in order for any of the information that they receive to be valid. But here's the thing, when we become perfectionistic about the information that's coming through and the need to be correct, what happens is we get nervous, we freeze up. Often your mind will start to go blank and you'll start to panic. You know these moments when you're trying to get information to come through and then you start second guessing yourself and then you're not confident and then you try to deliver the information and it just comes out like a question. To be more accurate as a psychic, you have to care less about being accurate. Now, that doesn't mean that you shouldn't strive to be accurate, that you shouldn't learn tools and techniques to be as accurate as possible, but it should not be your main goal. I mean, yes, we want to be as accurate as possible, but here's the thing. Fear blocks intuition. Fear, anxiety, perfectionism, the need to be perfect, the need to be right, blocks your ability to receive. Fear makes you second guess yourself. And then all you have left to rely on is your ego, your thoughts, your mind, not your psychic ability. And the thing here is just any intense emotion, any fear, any worry, and any like high negative emotion that you bring into a reading can absolutely affect what you can or can't receive. And so that's why in readings, we have to remain as neutral as possible as the psychic reader. Easy example, think about when you're dreaming, right? And when you have a terrifying dream and your emotion, your fear wakes you up. And the same thing happens here with your intuition. If you have too loud of a fear of that like voice that's like telling you that you're wrong, you're fucking it up, you're gonna screw up, everything's gonna fall apart, they're gonna leave, they're gonna give you a bad review, they're gonna ask you for a refund. Any intense emotion like that can overshadow and block your intuition. Maybe just your ability to hear your intuition, to see it, to see those messages coming through. Any intense emotion like that can overshadow that intuitive voice. That's why I always say not to read anybody like immediately post breakup or immediately after they've lost somebody. That intense emotion can really make it hard for them to be read, but also for them to even listen and receive information. When you're super mad, when you're super confused, when you're super lost, the best thing you can do is get clear and get centered and get neutral before jumping into reading yourself or somebody else. Just know that fear, worry, and control are all opposite. They distract and they hinder that psychic ability and that intuitive voice. Let's try to avoid it, right? So then we can become more accurate so that we're not blocking ourselves in the moment from receiving something. Also, psychics are not right 100% of the time. It is near impossible to be 100% right 100% of the time in any field. So for those of your readers out there who are holding yourself to that ridiculous standard, here's what I want you to think about. If you don't hold yourself to that standard, if you tell yourself it's okay for me to be wrong, you can also tell your clients this. And I tell my clients this all the time. I can be wrong. And suddenly that pressure is alleviated and it feels so much easier to read. And that's what we're going for. We want the space in which it's easy to receive, because that's how we get more accurate information. We don't get more accurate information by stressing ourselves out, by fearing, by being anxious, by being controlling and trying to like search and find that information. No, we want to allow it. And when we allow it, we got to create the space, the energy for it to be allowed in. So you can and you will be wrong. Set that expectation for yourself, but also set it for your clients. So if you want to be more accurate, You got to be okay with being wrong. The more you relax, the more you ease that tension, the more you get into that psychic mind of flow of receptivity. So by removing your fear, you're able to tap into your intuition better. And that's how we become more accurate. And I totally get it. Like, taking the pressure off of yourself is hard, and it almost seems counterintuitive. It's counterintuitive too, because like it goes against everything that we've been taught. We've been taught that you have to be right, that you have to get an A+, right? But that's not how the psychic ability works. The more you get into the zone, the space, the feeling of being centered, of being grounded, of being neutral, the more accurate you will be. The more you get stressed, I feel like a broken record here, the less it's gonna work. Okay, so now some practical steps for how to do this, because I totally know just telling somebody, don't worry, does not make them not worry. So affirm that you are psychic. It is okay if I am wrong. So you can say that in an affirmation. I am psychic. We don't want to necessarily say like, I am wrong in an affirmation, because we want to focus on like positive affirmations, but we can just say, I am psychic. I receive information easily and effortlessly. You can put it on sticky notes. You can put it in your phone as like the background. You can set an alarm that reminds you, I am psychic. I still to this day have a alarm set in my phone that reminds me I am psychic. And I swear it pops up every single time that I'm doubting myself. When you're in the middle of a reading and you're trying to receive, it's okay to slow down. It's okay to take a break. It's okay to walk away. It's okay to take a deep breath. It's okay to restart, to ask a different question, to literally shake it off. You know, there's a lot of techniques that we can use to get unstuck, and I talk about that in my courses, and you can use those to kind of just like move past the anxiety and the tension. I mean, it's totally okay to even just say, I was wrong on that, and then pivot to another technique. You don't have to like pretend that you are like, what's the word? Infallible? Because you're not, you're human. Now what you can do ahead of time, practice grounding and centering techniques. Getting present before a reading is definitely going to help you get rid of that like monkey mind, the anxious mind, you know, all of the like negative feelings that might come up of fear or worry that you're going to be wrong. And again, you can always tap back into that energy anytime throughout the reading. You can always stop. You can say, I'm going to connect for a second. And then, you know, go into your mind, reconnect, say these affirmations, take a few deep breaths. Now, I do have a video on grounding, getting centered, getting present. Check that video out if you want some techniques. Another thing you can do, treat this like a psychic block. Dive into why you feel you need to be right, why you need to be perfect. You know, there might be some very bigger other things around that you might discover about yourself. Hello Virgos, I see y'all. And my point there is like, I find that, you know, we're often taught that we need to be perfect, that we have to always meet some sort of standard, and we hold ourselves to that even when no one else is. I also find that playing psychic games throughout your day that don't require validation, that don't require you to like actually know the answer, is really helpful for stretching your ability to be wrong. So for example, like when you are going out and about and you see a billboard with like a model on it, it's trying to guess their name, trying to guess something about their personality or their background. It could be playing with a deck of cards and guessing face down if it's a red card or a black card, and not flipping it over to see if you were right or wrong. It's creating a precognitive calendar where you are just looking into the future, so you don't have, you know, the immediate satisfaction of being able to know if you were right or wrong. Another thing that I think is helpful, reading other people. I think that a lot of this is just nerves and anxiety, and when you can actually work on receiving something for someone else instead of yourself, it can really help you move through that anxiety of always feeling like you need to be right. If that's something you're interested, we do have a monthly Patreon group, and we practice reading each other every month on the second Tuesday of every month. As of right now. Overall, I just want to leave you with this. Don't hyperfixate on being perfect. It goes against everything that a psychic ability is. Worry less and receive more. And just remember, if you are new to all of this and you're really excited and want to jump in and be really good at flexing these abilities and learn all the techniques and tricks that I do have a basic psychic skills course, freshly updated actually with very new videos in it. Some of you might have already purchased it. doesn't affect anything. In fact, you have more content, new homework, new videos to look at. I think I've added a lot more to that course. If you are new and haven't purchased it, might be worth looking into because it's like my very basic intro level, and it's just been a little zhuzhed up with some updated videos. The videos before were a little bit older, and I think I've gotten better about coaching, teaching, also being on camera. So I'm really happy with how they turned out, and you can get that course down below. So if you have any questions, please leave them down below. If you like this video, give it a like, and I will see you in my next one. Alrighty, bye.